Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome in, settle down. Let's chat about some year-end favorites for 2021. Now, a lot of people, I think when they do this video, they incorporate only things that released in whatever year it is. So this 2021. I personally, because I'm not necessarily purchasing a ton of new things, I have decided that the way that I'm going to do this is just talk with you guys about things that I've been really enjoying this year, things that really stuck out to me. So if you are curious about that, then let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to start out with foundation. I have 3 different formulas that really stuck out to me when I was looking at my collection. These are the ones that when I was using them, I was really enjoying them. And also, by the way, I have all of these, everything that's on my face today, for the most part, is something that I'm going to mention in this video. So I just filmed a chatty get ready with me. That'll go up after this, so it won't be a spoiler. Anyways, Milani Screen Queen foundation. This is the foundation that I have on today. I really, really enjoy this. I find it to be just a really wonderful medium coverage foundation. It's not going to give you full coverage. I think it's maybe somewhat buildable, but it works well as a medium coverage foundation. I think the shade match is fantastic, and that is always something that I personally look for. That's always something. Everybody looks for a shade match. What I'm trying to say is, when I'm thinking of like favorite foundations, obviously I'm going to be more inclined to choose things that are really legitimately good matches for my skin tone. So this one's really great. I also thoroughly enjoyed using the IT Cosmetics CC cream. I pulled this in for at least 1 round of Shop My Stash, if not several. In fact, I think I kept it in for like a full 4 or 6 weeks even. Used it every day. Love this. Which is funny because I actually did not love this at first. I realized that I was using way too much of it. So you only need a little bit, and it gives you a full coverage foundation, and it's not too cakey. So that is a huge plus. I do not like cakey makeup. I like things to be relative, like I like being able to see my skin through the foundation. And then the last foundation that I have to talk about is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Concealer Foundation, not concealer. Again, this is beautiful. I use this a lot in the summer. In fact, I think I was using it pretty much all summer long, with the exception of maybe once or twice using something else, once or twice. Take that with a grain of salt. Anyways, this is gorgeous. It's definitely like too dark for my skin tone right now, but in the summer, this matches me pretty well. It's a very nice dewy finish, not cakey at all, and definitely more of a true medium coverage. So love that. Concealer, where is my concealer? I don't know that I necessarily had a favorite, but the ones that I've been more inclined to use, especially in the last half of this year, is the First Aid Beauty Bendy Avocado Concealer. This I'm just trying to use up. I do really enjoy this formula, but First Aid Beauty is no longer cruelty-free. They started selling in China, I believe. So I won't be repurchasing, but this is a really beautiful formula. It's nice, and what's good about it? Sorry, there was something under my nail and I got really distracted. It's not cakey at all. It doesn't necessarily settle into fine lines like a lot of concealers might. Nothing is truly crease proof, but there's just lesser degrees of creasiness, I guess. I feel like this sets down really, really nicely and gives a beautiful finish under the eye. It doesn't look cakey or heavy or dry. It's just beautiful. And then the other one that I've got is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage. This one is maybe a little bit heavier of a coverage. It is what I have on today, and I'm noticing in my viewfinder that like I'm pretty dewy. Not dewy. I'm pretty, like, I'm very brightened under my eye. And I actually think that's more about the powder that I used. But anyways, this is maybe a little bit too light for me. I have it in the shade, Light Natural, which you would think would work fine. I don't know. Anyways, I do really like this. I feel like it gives me a really nice finish to my face, and it's not cakey. So it's good. Okay. Concealer. Next, I would do powder. The powders that I really have been enjoying, I have 3. So my under eye setting powder, the one that I've been using lately that I've just been loving is the NYX Banana HD setting powder. I bought this, I want to say in November, and I already am, like, I can see the outline of pan. So I've been using this quite a bit. The way that I like to use it is just using my sponge, and it's great. I also was using the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder a lot this year. In fact, this is almost gone. Like, I almost used up an entire one of these. I was using it so much, which is a very satisfying feeling, especially with powder, because it is somewhat difficult to pan a powder. So this is beautiful. It's the powder that I have on today. It's just a really nice, it gives your skin a great finish. I feel like it definitely helps to blur imperfections. I have heard that it's a dupe for the Hourglass ambient lighting powders. I don't know. I haven't necessarily tested that, and I don't know that my eye is keen enough to really tell it, like really be able to figure that out. But it is a beautiful powder regardless. Next up is the Kosas. This is the Cloud Set powder. Now, I just purchased this in November. I've used quite a bit of it. And in my Sephora haul where I featured this, I was talking about how it was fine. Because it's a powder, and I don't know. But it is actually, the more that I've used this, the more I've grown to appreciate it for what it is. I think one of the things, this, compared to the e.l.f., like, obviously this is going to give you more of just a glowy sort of finish without being too glowy. Whereas this one's going to give you more of a matte finish, but it's not like flat, if that makes sense. Like, it looks really flattering. I personally enjoy it quite a bit. So I could see that being a repurchase at some point in the future. Okay. Bronzers. This one I feel kind of bad about because I just used it in my chat to get ready with me, but I'm seeing this on my face and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think maybe it's just a bad makeup day. But the Ofra River Bronzer, this is in collaboration with Samantha March. This is really pretty. It really is. I just went a little bit heavy-handed with it today. If you use a light hand, it is a gorgeous shade. It's very warm-toned though, so if that's something that you really don't like in a bronzer, then I wouldn't get this, but it blends pretty well. Not as well as some bronzers, but it does a pretty good job. The next one is the Flower Beauty Heatwave Luminous Bronzer. My baby just woke up from his nap, so I'm gonna have to speed through this. This is absolutely gorgeous. I pulled this in for at least a few Shop My Stashes, and it has been a huge favorite of mine. I'm speechless. It's so pretty. There's this marbleized texture to it, and it really is a beautiful luminous finish that isn't, like, it's not shiny, but it just gives you this ethereal sort of glow. Absolutely incredible. It blends out really, really nicely as well. And then the final bronzer that I wanted to talk about is this Juvia's Place Duo. I really liked this. You've got 2 different undertones. This is the medium shade, by the way. So this one is more of like, I don't know, it's kind of a red undertone, I would say. And this one's more of like a mustard undertone. both of which are beautiful on the skin. Again, use a light hand and blend it out and it's perfect. But I noticed that like it blends pretty well. There's no patchiness or skippiness to it. It works really well. Okay, blushes. This one was kind of hard. I felt like I don't know, I've got kind of a lot. Okay, this is the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Blush Palette. This is gorgeous. These are pretty much all warm tones with the exception of Pink Moon. That might be more neutral, leaning cool. But these are so, so pretty. I have not given this palette nearly as much love as I should have, but I will say that when I was using it, I was in love big time. Really enjoyed that. They blend out beautifully. They're nicely pigmented. They're not overly pigmented. Like, you've got to be careful with any blush for the most part, but you know, that one, yeah, they're really, really good. Let's see, Colourpop Magic Moon. This is part of the Tinkerbell collection. You guys, their Super Shock Cheeks are some of the best blushes on the market. I'm sorry. They're very, very nice. I love this. Never wanted to stop using it. I was using it constantly for like the whole month after I got it. I just couldn't stop. I love it. It is such a beautiful glowy blush. And it is glowy and it's warm toned and it's so, so pretty. So pretty. My favorite way of applying this is just with my sponge. Just doot, 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 and it's done. Now, another one is the Melt Digital Blush Duo. My understanding is they have discontinued these, which I think is a crying shame because these are so good. This blush may be my all-time favorite. It may be. It is such a gorgeous shade. This is in the shade Raw Honey. I think I might need to buy a backup. And I don't usually buy backups, but knowing that this one's not going to be available, ooh, I think I need to. Anyways, it looks like it's going to be super, super shiny, and maybe it is. It is, but it works. It just, oh, it's so pretty. I can't even handle it. I wish I'd used that today, but I didn't. Next up, I've got, I don't know, I hesitate whether or not I'll talk about it. The Nabla Skin Glazing Blush in the shade Truth. Again, super glowy, super beautiful. You're gonna get just this ethereal, lit from within finish. And I like that. I like when my skin has movement and looks like real skin, you know? And this helps accomplish that. Okay, and then the final blush. This is the Lethal Cosmetics blush in the shade Hybrid. I never in a million years thought that I would say that a purple blush was going to be flattering, but it is the blush that I'm wearing today, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It blends itself. You really, you need to have zero talent to make this work. It is very, very good. Highly recommend them. I know that you can get Lethal Cosmetics on Camera Ready Cosmetics. If you purchase from the Lethal site, like, their shipping can be somewhat steep, only a little bit. I'm really not complaining about it because I know that living in the US, like, I'm spoiled. We are all spoiled if we're in the US when it comes to shipping. But anyways, you can also get it on, I want to say the blushes are also available at Camera Ready Cosmetics. Could be wrong, but I know that they have quite a bit of the Lethal line there. Okay. And then highlight, I've only got one highlighter. It's the Stila. This is the only one that really stuck out to me. I didn't buy a lot of highlighters this year, but I did get this one, and it is gorgeous. This is the Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter in the shade Kitten. It's the one I have on today, and it's so pretty. So pretty. Again, I just use my sponge and tap it on. So gorgeous. You know what? I had another blush that I wanted to talk about. I don't know. Maybe I should do some honorable mentions. I love blush. So let me these little Essence blushes are fantastic. This is in the shade Bespoke. This is such a nice nude blush. They're great, and they're like $3. Highly recommend, especially if you're balling on a budget. And then for cream blush, the Tower 28 blushes, phenomenal. Sometimes cream, if it doesn't dry down, it's just like, ugh, not so great. This dries down to a powder finish, and it lasts like all day. All day. It's so nice. Blends out beautifully. No issues. Okay, eyeshadows. Huda Beauty Rose Quartz. Yeah, that's what I have on my eyes today. This is so freaking pretty. I did film 2 looks and a review. Never posted it. I think I still will though. I filmed it like the end of November and it's January 2nd. So we'll see. Anyways, these are so nice. These mattes are very, very buttery and blendable, not powdery at all. They're great. They're nicely pigmented without being dry. The shimmers, these shimmers are insane. They're metallic and foiled, but you can also like sheer them out so that they're more just straight up shimmery, and I thoroughly enjoy it. This shade here, Lovestone, it's the one that looks like there's little balls in it. This is actually, you're supposed to use this underneath some of the shimmers to make it more impactful. Oh my God. Yeah, they're great. So many people are like, that shade's really weird. There's a reason for it. Anyways, okay, other eyeshadows. This one makes me sad. I dropped it today and it broke. But these little quads from Colourpop, these are the Horoscope, the Zodiac quads. I have 3. I have Tender Loving Cancer, looks like this. And Pisces in the Sky looks like this. And then this one, this beautiful baby that I'm totally going to buy a backup of, is A Secret Life of Scorpio. And it looks like that. They are so nice. Colourpop does not have the same formula across the board, okay? But these ones, these mattes, they're blendable, they're pigmented, they're beautiful. Love them so much. And these shimmers, nicely foiled metallic shimmers that really give a punch. You can definitely sheer them out for more of a subtle effect, and you can build them up and use them wet, or just use your freaking finger, and you're gonna get more of a foiled look. So really, really pretty. Another Colourpop palette that I tried this year, I don't think this released this year, but I tried it this year and I fell in love, is Nude Mood. Honestly, this freaking gold, it's so pretty. Same with this brown, like these 2 shades together. Oh my God, these mattes are beautiful. It's on par with the quads that I just talked about. Love it. Okay. Adept Cosmetics Plain Jane. Thoroughly enjoyed using this year. This released, I want to say last year. I got this in January though, I think it like restocked January 1st of last year, and that's when I purchased it. They're just some of the most beautiful, so freaking pretty. It's a really interesting formula. There's not a ton of like back pigment, base pigment, but they are gorgeous. Just in their, you've got just these gorgeous duo and multi-chrome effects. Really, really nice. Highly recommend this as well. Lunar Beauty Eternal Eclipse. I love this palette. These mattes are some of my favorite mattes on the market. They are super nice. And the shimmers are really, really nice. This shade Meteor here is such an interesting, like hazy lavender silver shade. I honestly don't know that I have anything else like it. Every look that I've come up with this palette has been stunning. So thoroughly enjoy. The shimmers are maybe not quite as like shimmery and shiny as like the Plain Jane or some of these Colourpop ones, but they are very nice and I thoroughly enjoy them. Okay, I think, is that it for eyeshadow palettes? I've got some others that this one might just be an honorable mention. I don't know that it's a full-on favorite. I'm on the fence about it, but this Nomad Cosmetics Haunted Europe palette, I love the theming of this palette and I love many of the shades. Some of the shade, like the grays, are maybe a little bit more difficult for me to make work, but they are really, really pretty. So I do thoroughly enjoy this. I'm really happy that I have it. And then the last eyeshadow palette is this Be Perfect, this Be Perfect Carnival, the Antidote palette. This is fall in a palette and I am here for it. I really, really enjoy this. The shimmers are the star of the show. They're great. They are everything that I want in a shimmer formula. They're foiled and pigmented and beautiful. The mattes are maybe not my favorite formula, but they're very good. They are pigmented and blendable. Some of them are maybe slightly, just take a little bit more work to blend, but once you've got them blended out, they're great. I've got a lot of single shadows that I want to talk about, but I just don't have time to include those in today's video. So I might do a separate like singles favorites. But yeah, we're going to skip singles for now. I don't have a favorite mascara. My favorite is still the Essence Lash Princess, and I don't currently have a tube of that here. Brow products, I just use an eyeshadow. So I'm not going to talk about that. We're going to finish off with lips. I have a few different lip formulas here in front of me. And I just realized that I'm missing one. There's 5 that I tried this year. Nope, just kidding. Okay, some of these released this year, some of them did not. Let's start off with glosses. This one is one of my favorites. I'm not in love with the formula. It's a little bit sticky, but the pigmentation and the shade and the scent makes it a favorite. This is the Buxom Full-On Plumping Lip Cream in the shade Pumpkin Chai Latte. It is a really beautiful brown gloss, and it's kind of like a berry brown, and it's just, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. This is what I tend to reach for when I'm wanting just a lighter lip effect, you know, nothing too heavy. And yeah, I love that. Then the other gloss is the Fenty Cream Gloss Balm. I cannot read, I don't know what shade this is, but it's just a really beautiful red, like deep blood red gloss. Gorgeous. It's the same formula as their other gloss bombs. Very, very comfortable, not sticky at all. Nice and emollient. That's it right there. This is a great, I've been really wanting, I don't know, I feel like 2019, 2020, I was wanting more like pigment with my lips, but I've come to realize that if I pair a pigmented lip, depending on the shade, with a full-on like eye look, it can kind of age me. So I really have been liking glosses lately. Now for the next one is kind of a gloss stain hybrid. This is the Colourpop Fresh Kiss Glossy Lip Stain. This is in the shade Cherry Up. I love this. I love this. It is such an interesting formula. It's definitely a gloss. There it is right there, but it leaves your lips stained. So when it wears off, you've just got this really beautiful pigmentation. There's nothing wrong with it. I like it a lot. Okay, so I didn't really love any liquid lipsticks. I really kind of fell back in love with bullet lipsticks, and there's one that I cannot find, and that's the Milk Cosmetics bullet lipsticks. They're fantastic. I wish I knew where mine was, but so I'm just going to touch on that and move on. Other formulas that I have really enjoyed is the ELF I think these are Seriously Satin is what they are. This is in the shade Nectar. So it's right there. These are really comfortable. They're nicely pigmented, but not heavy and not drying. It's a great satin. I like satins and creams quite a bit. Next is I wish that these would say what they were, but these Milani ones. I think it's a matte too. It's what I have on today. And even though it's matte, it's not really too drying. It works very, very well. It's nicely pigmented, but not overbearing. And I find it to be just incredibly comfortable and really, really flattering. This is in the shade Secret. Like I said, it's what I have on my lips today. Thoroughly enjoy that. And then finally, my God, I've accomplished being able to finish this within 30 minutes, which is awesome. Finally, I've got a Mauve Moment. This is by Juvia's Place. This is their, I don't know, it's their bullet lipsticks. I'm not crazy about the shape of it. If you can see that, it's like kind of angular and weird. But the formulation on these is gorgeous. It's very, very similar to the Milani ones as far as formula goes. Like they're nice and creamy and matte. This is not a cream. They're matte, but comfortable. Comfort matte. I'm into it. So, okay, you guys, that is all of my makeup favorites that I can think of, aside from single shadows. I bought a lot of single shadows this year too. So that's kind of, I don't know. Like I said, I think I'll probably do a separate video on favorite single shadows. But yeah, whew. All right, I'm gonna go get my baby. He's been very patient. He's just in there talking to himself. And now I'm ready to hang out. I'm all done. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, give me a thumbs up, subscribe before you go, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.